Now, in the third discussion, I would like to talk about India-Nepal bilateral relation, the present situation. So, now let us talk about, so we have seen the history, now let me talk about India-Nepal bilateral relations, the present scenario. So, what is happening? Okay, India-Nepal bilateral relation. So, if you look that way, Prime Minister Modi, after he became the Prime Minister in 2014, he visited Nepal 4 times. One such visit was in 2018, the last visit was in 2018, and he even participated in the BIMSTEC, the 4th BIMSTEC summit in Nepal in August 2018. Earlier a bilateral visit was in May 2018, a bilateral visit in August again he visited Kathmandu. So, it was his 4th visit. Then even our Nepali Prime Minister, now after the elections in 2018, the new Prime Minister is KP Sharma Oli. KP Sharma Oli, he is the Prime Minister since the first democratically election after the new constitution came into being, and he visited India in May 2019. KP Sharma Oli visited India in 2019 to participate in the swearing in ceremony of Prime Minister Modi. He invited all the BIMSTEC leaders at that time. Please remember, Prime Minister Modi invited the BIMSTEC leaders for the swearing in ceremony when the second the NDA government, the Prime Minister Modi's government came into being. And if you look at the relationship, as I already told you, see, since 1950, India and Nepal both are awarding each other's army chief with a honorary rank of general. So, Nepali army chief is a general, an honorary general in Indian army, because of the connection, okay. And the Indian army, army chief is a general in Nepali army. That is the kind of relationship we are keeping. And as I told you, the Gurkha regiment, more than 32,000 Gurkha soldiers are serving in Indian army today, and it is a big thing. And India also, in fact, another big thing happened was in 2015, there is a massive earthquake in Nepal, and India offered a $1 billion package. India offered more than $1 billion package, $250 million of grant and $750 million of concessional credit, okay, for in a reconstruction, $250 million grant and $750 million concessional credit. We have offered to Nepal after the the earthquake in 2015. And also we are upgrading the border infrastructure, lot of at least 10 different road projects are going on, 10 different road projects in the Terai region to increase the connectivity between India and Nepal. And also we have a couple of integrated checkposts, we have many multiple entry points, multiple checkposts for trade. Multiple checkposts for trade and integrated checkposts have been created, and also we are offering, till now we have offered around $1.65 billion line of credit to Nepal, meaning concessional loan to Nepal for various development projects. We have offered also, we are selling 600 megawatts of electricity to Nepal because they do not have enough electricity production capacity. We are doing that. We recently one of the Nepal's demand was that there should be, they should not be dependent on oil being transported in tankers, because that is how the economic blockade could stop them. So now, we have agreed and we have constructed a pipeline, a petroleum product pipeline, petroleum product pipeline was constructed by Indian Oil Corporation connecting Motihari in Bihar to Amlekhganj. In Nepal, and it was inaugurated in September 2019. Motihari to Amlekhganj, there is a petroleum product pipeline we inaugurated, and also we are constructing from Raxaul in Bihar to Kathmandu. So we have agreed to construct a rail line, a strategic rail line linking Raxaul to Kathmandu. So it will be a big thing for the connectivity as far as the people of Nepal is concerned. So that once it reaches Raxaul, from there then they can travel across India, there is no problem. So that is what we are constructing. We have agreed to construct that. Even a direct bus service for the the religious tourism from Janakpur to Ayodhya. Janakpur, Ayodhya, direct bus route. So many new things we have started. Okay, bus services between India and Nepal. Okay, and if you look at the bilateral trade between India and Nepal, bilateral trade in 2018-19 has reached $8.27 billion in 2018-19, $8.27 billion in 2018-19, and out of which Nepal to India is only 0.5. Nepal to India is only $0.5 billion. India to Nepal is $7.76 billion. Okay. So naturally it is highly one sided, no doubt regarding that. Most of the items we are exporting to Nepal, Nepal has limited capacity to export, and our border between India and Nepal 1868 kilometer border, and this is an open border. It is an open border. We have no and 20 entry and exit points are given for trade. 20 entry exit points. So, and definitely then otherwise Nepal has only around 1400 kilometer border with China, 1400 border, and even today most of the foreign direct investment, almost 30% of the FDI in Nepal is from India. Okay, almost 30% is and then we are also providing a lot of scholarship to the Nepali students studying in India. So many things are there, we are supporting them, but there are a couple of issues. Okay, what are these the present issues with Nepal, or issues between India and Nepal? See, one big issue which has recently come up is the issue of the Kala Pani and the border issue. We have a dispute regarding the border. I will be talking about that separately. So one definitely is the issue of border, but there are many other issues which are beyond, or rather which are not just about the the border. So now let us see what are the issues which we are facing, or rather what are the grievances of Nepal as far as India and China, sorry, India and Nepal relations are concerned. So that is what I would like to talk here along with this, with the present situation. So beyond this, one big issue is, as I told, the Kala Pani or the, I will just come to that separately, the border dispute. One is that. Second, the economic blockade. Okay. The economic blockade, the trade blockade, because Nepal is a landlocked country and one side is Himalayas and the other side is India. Nepal geographically they are fully critically dependent on India, and we have always used this as a ploy to control Nepal, no doubt regarding this. In fact, there were many, not the 2015 economic blockade was not the first one. We had a similar blockade in 1975 also, in 1989 also, then in 2015. So, this has created a huge anti-India sentiment, because every time India used this, at least thrice we have used this before, and this economic blockades have created a huge anti-India sentiments. Because the people of Nepal feels that despite all our support and facilities we are giving to Nepali people, they have a feeling that we are always switching on and off, and Nepal is compelled, and many a times the Nepali people feel that they are kept as a hostage because of the geography. So, this economic blockade politics, especially the 2015 politics. See, earlier the media, the TV and all were not there. Now people could actually see what is going on. So, this has created a very, very bad image of India, which has actually, it is a turning. I already said the economic blockade of 2015 is a very strategically very bad move. We should not have been doing this. We should have been applying something else, because we should have been understanding that it would have suffered, it would have created a lot of suffering for the people. But a bit mindlessly we have done it, and it was a disaster. It was a disaster, absolutely no. So, one other than the border dispute, this economic blockade was a big issue. Then a third issue between India and Nepal is also related to the the long and open border. Long and open border. See, once we are given the open border, we have allowed the people of Nepal to enter India, and most of them are entering India and to work in India as a workforce, and they are many a time they are working as low level jobs, manual laborers, maybe in hotels, maybe as guards, cooks, like that. So, most of them, yeah, they are getting a manual labor, and there is lot of discrimination also in India when it comes to discrimination. We are champions, no doubt regarding this. We discriminate, ye Nepali hai, ye hai, oh hai, we have a very negative feeling, or rather many a times we do not treat people, human being as human being, because of our own casteism and because of our own philosophy, unfortunately. But this open border for Nepal, they feel that now it also allows Indians to enter Nepal. And when Indians have gone there, now we are not gone there to as a manual laborer or anything. We dominate, that is a problem. See, especially the Indian Marwadi community. They dominate the business in Nepal. The business in Nepal. Also, they dominate the tourism industry. The biggest income for Nepal is from the tourism, and the Marwadi community dominates the tourism, or Indians dominate the tourism industry in Nepal. Indians dominate the business, the trade, it is dominant. So, they feel that their economy, their economic strength, we completely capture it, and we are occupying it, and we are controlling it. Whereas the Nepali population working in India, they are working more like workers, they are not dominating anything. So, this open border is a dispute, an issue of dispute for them. They feel that there should be some control, and they are also not happy with the Nepali citizens, especially the elites, the Nepali Gurkhas working as soldiers in India. The Nepali citizens are dying for India, soldiers in India. So, they feel that there should be some mechanism to control this, and they do not like. And a fourth point, So, the third is the border and the allowing, now this open border has also other issues like this is also, since it is open, and this can be misused by even ISI agents and others for anti-India activities also. It can be used for anti-India activities also. And a fourth point of and a matter of dispute between, especially for the Nepal, is the issue of the what you call the agreement. There is a India Nepal Friendship Treaty. Of 1950. We signed a friendship treaty in 1950. Okay. And this India Nepal Friendship Treaty, according to people of Nepal, it is a one sided treaty. It is a one sided treaty. The people of Nepal feels that their rights are not protected in this. It is dictated by India. It is no more a friend, it is not an equal treaty, it is not an equal treaty. And the people of Nepal feels that it is high time to rewrite this treaty and make it equal. It should be between two sovereign countries, and Nepal feels that they became a sovereign country even before India became a sovereign country. But for them, we have not signed it as an equal treaty, and it is keeping Nepal into an Indian bondage. They feel it should be made equal. See, India, I think in 2007-8, we have even renegotiated a similar treaty with Bhutan. We made it equal. There were some provisions in the India-Bhutan treaty, friendship treaty 1949, whereby the Bhutan was supposed to take guidance from India in their foreign policy. We have corrected it, we have changed it. We have amicably settled, there is no dispute as such with Bhutan, but with the changing times we decided to change, we wanted to respect their sovereignty, and we agreed and we changed that friendship treaty, but with Nepal we have not changed. Nepal feels this treaty, this India-Nepal Friendship Treaty of 1950 is a one-sided treaty, it is a treaty of bondage. Nepal is permanently treated as a bonded labor. So, they wanted change, but India is not agreeing, we are not able to change that. Okay. So, there is a dispute regarding this. And another dispute or another point of contention between India and Nepal is related to Buddhism. Buddha's birthplace and Buddhism. See, we always claim, even in 2020, when Prime Minister Modi addressed the UN General Assembly, he said that he was talking about India is a country of Buddha and Buddhism and everything, and no mention about Nepal. See, Nepal's argument is Siddhartha Gautama was born in Lumbini. Siddhartha was born in Nepal. He was not born in India. Of course, enlightenment and other things might have happened in India, but Nepal feels that Nepal have a claim and a right over Gautama Buddha. But we always use, and Buddha's heritage is an emotional issue in Nepal. India always claim Buddha's legacy. India always claim, we never even share, we do not even agree that he was born in Nepal. And this is a major ill will, or they feel that how can you usurp, how can you take away our boy, Nepali boy, Gautama Buddha or Siddhartha, how can you take away his legacy? So, they always feel that India should be showing some respect to Nepal and their right over it, and they are also, Nepal is extremely unhappy with our big brother behavior, big brother attitude. See, big brother you cannot translate into Hindi or any, big brother is not elder brother or bada bhai, no, it is not elder brother, big brother is a bullying term, it is a negative term. Nepal always insists that we are a, they became a sovereign country even before India became sovereign. So, they should be big brother and not India. Obviously, it is not possible, but they should be treating, they feel Nepal wants India to treat them as equals, but our behavior is always as a big brother, not as an elder brother. Okay. So, they are worried about that, and also they are not happy about the, and especially the water sharing agreements. Please remember, Nepal, all the rivers of Nepal are flowing into India, and 40% of Ganga water, Ganga's total water, because all the left wing tributaries of Ganga are flowing, are mainly from Nepal, and 40% of Ganga water is originating in Nepal. Major tributaries, and these, and according to some estimate, Nepal has a potential hydroelectric power potential of 83,000 megawatts of hydroelectric power potential, and but Nepal is not able to extract any hydroelectric power, mainly because they do not have the funds and they do not believe, or rather they are always looking at India with suspicion. We have signed a couple of treaties like Gandak River, Gandak Treaty, Koshi Treaty. Even we signed in 1996 a very important treaty, the Mahagali Treaty, Mahagali River, 1996. And even though we have signed the agreement, we are not able to implement anything, or rather Nepal is not able to move forward, because they always feel that all these river water treaties are heavily in favor of India. These treaties are always in favor of India. They always feel that we are exploiting their resources. They feel India is exploiting the Nepali resources. They always feel that we are not giving justice, and they have been their natural resources are extracted by India, we are using it, they are not getting anything. So, they want to rewrite all the river water treaties. They want to rewrite all the river water treaties. They want to rewrite the 1950 Peace and Friendship Treaty, the India-Nepal Friendship Treaty is highly, and see, in fact, the India-Nepal treaty is a big point of discord between India and Nepal. Is highly I will say unpopular in Nepal. Is highly unpopular in Nepal. And one more point I would like to add here is, Nepal is also, as I told you, since most of the Nepalis in India are working as at the lower level jobs, manual laborers, many a time they are ill treated, they are discriminated, and this is also a matter of discord. This is a matter of ill feeling for the Nepali people about India, because they do not get, even some of them even complain that even the Gurkhas in Indian army does not get the real justice many a times, but even though there may not be any clear evidence to suggest that, they do not get justice, equality in India. So, these are some of the issues which Nepal is highly, they are not happy with India. These are some of the contentious issues between India and Nepal. So, we have many issues. So, the present situation when we talk about, there are many contentious issues also. Even though we are talking about, we always think that Nepal should be always grateful to India. We always think that Nepal culturally they are so close to India, because our Hindu culture, our language, everything, Nepali language is also very close to our Indian languages. Our religion, we are very close. Geographically, the monsoonal link, geographically they are open to India. The other side is the great Himalaya, they cannot cross and go to Tibet. So, culturally, historically, emotionally, religiously, we are so close, but yet Nepal has many grievances and many complaints. They are not happy with many things. And the Indian action, especially after 2015, so constitution making and the subsequent developments has put a big question mark on India-Nepal relation, and we have literally handed over India in Nepal to the Chinese arms. So that is the present situation about the issues and some of the developments and the matters of concern between India and Nepal, especially the Nepali concern about India.